Hey nerds, Jess here. In this video, I'm going to review the October 2023 spam update. So what this update from Google is doing is it's trying to decrease the amount of spam given in the search results. So if you are experiencing increased loss in traffic, this may be something that you want to think about. They also are releasing a core update for the next 2 weeks, as well as of today, October 5th. So that may be a part of it too. But this is the latest information that they released about the most current spam update. So in this update, they're trying to clean up, again, different types of spams. And what they say is if you see a change after the spam update, to review the spam policies. So in this video, what I want to do is review the spam policies with you so that if you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments below. And hopefully this alleviates any confusion and things like that, because obviously this is a lot of words to read through. So in spam policies, what I want to review is each of these, main keywords: cloaking, doorways, hack content, what all this means, and if you may be one of these people that is affected by it. Because honestly, a lot of older websites are using these types of tactics to gain higher ranking results without actually knowing it. And these are things that Google is really cracking down on. So first, cloaking. What this is if you cloak a page and make it look like that it is going to a page, but when you click on it, the user actually sees an entirely different page. So what you'll see a lot of these have in common is it is appealing to the search engine and not the human itself. And we're going to see more and more that Google is going to be using AI and like real humans to actually review websites and make sure that they are very user-friendly, good for humans, ADA compliant, and things like that. And not ADA compliant just because it checks off a list because it has an ADA plugin, but it is actually compliant to screen readers and it is helpful. So again, cloaking, inserting text keywords that only the search engine can see, but not the human. So we want to make sure that it is actually relevant to the search. Doorways, this is when you see websites that have variations, super slight variations in URLs, but it forwards to the same URL just so that it can maximize its, location reach or service reach and things like that. So you want to think of like if you're a plumber and you're in the land and you're trying to do Lake Helen. If you have Lake Helen, Lake Mary, Orlando, and all these things going to the same URL, you could be using a doorway, and that is not allowed in the spam policies. So any pages that are generated to funnel visitors into an actual, a usable, relevant portion of your website, it needs to be relevant to the search that they originally searched for, not what you want them to view. Hacked content. So this may be something that you don't even know about. A lot of hacked websites are actually hacked 6 months prior to when somebody finds out about it, because they don't actually implement the hacking for several months, so that way they can collect data and they can do a widespread attack versus one by one. This is on a lot of different like plugins on WordPress that they're approved, but again, it's just injection code and things like that. There's also like redirects that they can inject into the code. This is like a huge thing that happened about 2 years ago that we helped a lot of clients get out of with the help of WordFence. And that's really why we switched to WordFence security, because they were right on top of that to make sure that we were able to get all this figured out as soon as possible. Hidden text and links. So this is like the white text on white background. That's like real old school, how you did SEO way back in the day, but I still see it like all the time. And if you're doing that and you were number one before, you're not going to be now, because this spam update and the core update that's coming directly after this is taking a lot of websites out. So make sure you're not doing that. Keyword stuffing, again, that's just like if you go to ChatGPT and you say, write me a post about um, plunging a toilet or whatever, and you want to optimize for plunger, and that's like, if it's like super high injected and it isn't actual like speech and it isn't easy to understand as a human, then they're marking that as like AI generated. Like that's actually AI generated. That's not what you want. That's not how you use these AI tools to generate SEO articles, because like that, yeah. So like in the example, unlimited app store credit, and it's just spam there all the time. Um, that's reasons why like I don't think that you should score like 100% on things like even rank math or Yoast or anything like that. You should be like honestly like 50 to 70%. You want to be actually like human readable. That's not how people speak and things like that. Link spam, if you have, yeah, great example of just like link after link, like every other word, if the density, that's the correct word, if the density of the links and the keywords is too much, it's low quality. It's not considered good. This is horrible. You can't do that. It also gives you information on how to actually link sponsored posts incorrectly. So you want to make sure that that is doing it right. Otherwise, just because you're linking to somebody else, you could be affected by this update as well. Machine generated traffic. So if you're just sending, bots to your website, just like if you're, buying a bunch of bots on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, like you're going to be affected eventually, because they're just cracking down on this and they're really caring about like, is this good for the user? Is it engaging? Because the more and more that like AI is important, like a lot of people are just using ChatGPT versus Google to get their answers, because the answers just aren't good. They're going to a website that has a whole bunch of ads and it's not helpful. So Google wants to remain the most helpful search engine and they don't want to be replaced. So because of that, they are cracking down and making sure that the information that they're providing, again, it's not that they're looking for not AI generated content, they're looking for helpful content. So even if you create that content helpfully through AI, just as long as it's like actually relevant and correct information, then you're okay. It's just, you just have to do it correctly in the right way. Misleading functionality. So you want to make sure that everything like looks correct. A fake generator that claims store credit but doesn't actually give you the credit. Making sure that it's not like a deceptive lead. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen an ad, like if I'm, using a tool or whatever, and it's like right next to the download button is an ad that says download. If you have these kinds of uh, ads that pop up in your website, you could be affected by this. So if you are a part of the AdWords community and you have placement ads in your website, this is something you want to make sure that um, isn't, affecting you. Scraped content. So this is obvious. Don't copy other people. You cannot just modify it slightly. You can't just add synonyms for things and republish it and make it your own content. You have to provide useful information through your expertise, combine different resources and things like that. A true artist is somebody that can take inspiration from multiple sources and make it their own, because it becomes something new. There is like, we're at a, I mean, really, even way back then, like nothing is really original. It's just seen in a different way. So, how can you use your authentic self and your voice and your brand to turn whatever you're looking into your own thing? There's plenty of people on YouTube that are doing these same types of videos of reviewing these updates, but obviously I'm doing it in a different way. So that's why you're watching this video. So just find a way that makes yours different. Don't copy everybody else, because not only is it not engaging, but it also is going to just affect you, get your website taken down, and we'll talk about that in the end. So stay tuned to the end because it's, this is getting like super serious in how it can affect your website to the point where you can't just edit the website and it improve. There's a couple extra steps you got to go through. So redirects, make sure that you're not having any like sneaky redirects again that like follow these types of things. Again, redirecting and it showing something completely different. I see this a lot. You can't do that. Um, you can combine several pages into one. That way you get, more search. Because like overall you want high average search per page, not just, a whole bunch of searches with, one impression once in a while. If you're moving your website to a new address, make sure you check out my blog post that talks about how to move your website correctly and like exactly what Google says to do, because a lot of people aren't moving their website correctly, or they're moving it and doing a whole new redesign. And basically what you're doing is creating a whole new website. So you can do redirects if you're moving your website into a new address, but you want to make sure you're doing it correctly, because otherwise you could be killing your search results because of that, not because of the spam policies. So, and then redirecting users to an internal page once they're logged in. So when somebody logs in, they get redirected. That's not a spam. That's helpful. Again, a lot of this stuff is like common sense, but this is why you want to watch out for like the sneaky SEOs of like, you're all of a sudden number one. You don't want to just be number one all of a sudden. You want that steady increase, because what that is saying is it's showing like, hey, Google's starting to trust my content. It's not just I hacked the algorithm and I'm number one in a week. Like that's not normal. And what'll happen is you'll hit number one and then you'll go down and then you're not going to come back up. So it's a whole lot harder to, get back from that. So spammy, automated generated content, again, AI, like make sure it's helpful. Then affiliate pages. So this is what happens when you have those affiliate websites where people are like, hey, they have like Amazon affiliate pages where they'll just talk about a product and go through it. And again, keyword stuff the heck out of it so that you click on it, buy it, and they get a kickback. That's spam. So if your affiliate website is going down in traffic, this could be why. User-generated spam, super important. So if you have a comment section open and you have spam on your blogs, if they're uploading files, forum, if they're spamming on your forum posts, things like that is not good. That is potentially helping hacking another person's computer and things like that. So you want to make sure that either you have a great moderator, or if you can't moderate something, you need to get rid of that comment section on your blog posts. Keep the articles, keep the blogs. You don't need comments if you're not going to moderate it. And also just making sure that you don't have a whole bunch of copyright removal requests. If you need to remove something, go to the YouTube channel. It shows you how you can, if you find somebody copying you, how you can request for them to be removed, because again, that's not good. You want to make sure that the content that you worked hard to create stays your content. But yeah, so more scam, fraud, things like that. If you are appearing to be somebody that you're not, you could be potentially affected by this update. So one of the things that I wanted to review was learn more about the spam update. We have here, so this talks more about like spam brain and how it's exactly like finding the things. But if you are experiencing link spam, then what will happen is if you make changes, it's not going to improve your website. And this is because it's just already marked your URL as bad. So if you find that like you've already made these changes and nothing's happening, what you need to do is you need to duplicate that page and slightly change the URL and see if that helps you in any way. Now, As a final thing, if you don't know if you're affected because you don't have search console set up, or your Google Analytics set up, and you're just, maybe you're seeing a less amount of phone calls and things like that. First of all, you need to make sure that you're signed up with the Google Search Console and Google Analytics. Make sure if you have a Google Business page that your Google Business page is set up and it's live and everything like that. But the Google Search Console is going to show you what the traffic is going to look like. And if you want a breakdown of Google Search Console, let me know in the comments down below, or I've already made it. It's linked in the description. So you can check that out as well. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know. And I hope you get your spam update figured out. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Make sure you subscribe if you want more videos like this, and stay nerdy.